what I really think is going to happen is they're not going to release this next one on the Switch that we have right now. I think that's just too much to ask.
I think they're going to take the world approach. Is where they just release it on the most powerful consoles and then leave it at that.
Yeah. I think at launch of the new title, it's going to be on the two newer consoles and PC. And I feel like just based on past performance, it makes sense for them to put it on Nintendo's next console as a launch title. Switch 2 launch title, like they did with the Wii U.
Yes, yeah, because 3 Ultimate was a Wii U quote-unquote launch title, because launch titles within the first 6 months, and it was within the first 2.
I don't know how you feel about it, but I hate the naming moniker of the Switch 2, and I just want them to go back simply for nostalgia's sake to go with the Super Switch as the title for the next console.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be cool. Yeah, Switch 2 is a really stupid name, but I mean, look, people are calling the next Monster Hunter 6, so there's no creativity there. It's just like I don't know, whatever. I hate saying Switch 2. That's why I say like whatever their next console is, because people are saying it's going to be an overpowered Switch, but when has Nintendo ever really done that? I mean, every new generation of their hardware innovates in a radically new way.
I don't think they ever have, aside from not even in the handheld lines.
No.
Because
if I remember correctly, the Wii U was overpowered for the generation, but then it was quickly outpaced by the series, or Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah, well, just in terms of the features, right? Look what the Wii U had. The Wii U had the Switch before the Switch existed.
Right.
You just had to have the console there to power it. But that thing was amazing.
I was telling my friend he hates the Wii U. He talks about how the Wii U is a failure all the time. As my friend Jared, who runs the local game store that I frequent, he was like, the Wii U is a terrible console. I was like, look, the Wii U crawled and died so that the Switch could run.
That's right. That's exactly
because
right.
It had such an awesome library, and we've seen almost everything ported to the Switch from the Wii U.
Yep.
I was also going to say the Wii U had what the PlayStation 5 has.
Exactly.
But it's included with the console, and it's not being sold as a $200 peripheral.
Yep. And thing is, though, the prices of those Wii U's are going up now, so you could probably get the PS5 and the Portal cheaper than you can get a Wii U. I don't know. I haven't looked at the prices lately, but I heard that things are moving up. I got mine sitting under the desk right now. It's plugged in and ready to go. It's got a Monster Hunter disc in.
I got mine for $140 a couple of years ago off eBay. So
nice.
We've Ace and I have played 3 Ultimate together within the past year.
Cool.
We played on Wii U, but since I moved, I recently bought this house and moved. It's in a box in that closet behind me.
Yeah.
I haven't got it out.
Yeah, amazing hardware. I loved it. Yeah, it was obviously a financial failure, but who cares? As a product, it's amazing. You can't just call it a bad product just because it failed financially. It's an amazing product.
It's a good product. They just mismarketed it, and I would say.
Oh, my buddy just likes getting on my nerves with it because I had the audacity to say, "Isn't the Wii U probably one of the best systems ever made?" In hindsight, because of it being sort of the predecessor to the Switch, and also just an amazing library.
Yeah,
and I was like, I can think of so many awesome Wii U games off the top of my head, and I was like, in comparison. Like something like PS2, which is, clouded as some of the best games of all time. It was like, content wise, like how many PS2 games were there? Like several hundreds. And you could probably say that there was 50 that were probably worth playing. To be fair, the Wii had the same problem. But
yeah. Well, yeah. Getting back to the original point, yeah, Monster Hunter 3U was, whether you want to call it a launch title or not, it was there for the beginning of the Wii U, and so
yes,
I think, and that's a different situation though. My understanding is that Nintendo gave Capcom some financial incentive to port that to the Wii U in order to help the sales. I'm not sure if how genius of an idea that was, but here, I don't think the Switch 2 is going to need something to help sell it. But again, everyone complains, all right, Nintendo consoles don't have quote unquote third-party support, which means they don't have a lot of third-party titles initially. And so, getting a few third-party developers on board at launch would be huge, and especially now with the massive success of World, 19 million sales, and Rise, which is up over 12 million now, I think. To your point earlier, it's not the level of Call of Duty, but nothing is, right? I mean, there's
right.
like five to 10 titles that are in that tier, but just in terms of a successful title, this is far and away far more successful than most things out there. So a Monster Hunter title at launch or near launch on the next Nintendo console would be a huge selling point.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they could even do something like maybe continue the stories line of Monster Hunters on the Switch as well.
Yep.
Something like that. Although I swear, if the next Monster Hunter game that we're getting teased as a stories game, I'm going to be so angry. I have a painful history with that series.
You were gonna get a Stories 3, so I mean, they were successful enough to get a Stories 3, and it could easily run on the Switch. You probably see that as a multi-platform title, but they're not gonna punk us, okay? Look, we get a new Monster Hunter every 2.5 years. We already got punked, first of all right, because 2.5 years ago, Rise launched. So 2.5 years after Rise, what do we get? We don't get our new Monster Hunter title. We get Monster Hunter now, almost to the day, 2.5 years.
We did get punked by that. As much as I've loved playing it, I am so angry at that game at times. Oh.
Yeah, the pay-to-play model is definitely there.
Yeah, that's another reason why. I mean, I'm not upgrading my phone just for a pay-to-play game. But they're not going to do us dirty in 6 months now. If we have to wait 3 years from the launch of Rise, that's what we'll do. And look, handheld games are new. It's a new thing for Capcom. And so they took the opportunity to, right when everyone's starting to get sick of Rise and Sunbreak, 2.5 years out, hey, here is the best time to market our brand new handheld game. Because if they launch that anywhere closer in time to the next mainline Monster Hunter game, people just wouldn't bother with it. They want
Fair.
They want those 19 million world fans to play Monster Hunter now. So that's why we got punked there. But that next Monster Hunter mainline game is almost ready to ship. It's just a matter of where do they need to put it on the calendar so that they can book the revenue in the right quarter. And it's, in my mind, that's at the 3-year mark after Rise.
Okay. That's not a bad... Yeah, I could see it being, we get the announcement, because if you remember, World was a very, very quick announcement to release. It was 4 or 5 months, maybe even 6, but because it was... I'm trying to remember. It was announced maybe June, and then we got it in January. So it wasn't like a whole year at all, which, I'm used to, we get a game announcement and then I'm waiting 2 years for that thing to come out most of the time. At that time, that's not been the case for a lot of games lately. a lot of companies are sort of catching on to that's too long of a window to announce something.
Yep.
Except for Blizzard. But